All right, we should be live.
Yes.
Got your earring situation sorted out?
I lost an earring. I had to find it. It fell down my shirt. Hi, guys.
Welcome, welcome. We are still sorting just a little bit of our technical setup tonight. You
were, not me.
30 minutes before the show.
Oh, Abigail's probably home.
Yeah, 30 minutes before the show started, which was late for me. I usually get set up at least an hour ahead of time. This time was 30 minutes before. I got the MacBook out. I got it ready to go, and a little pop-up came and said, hey, we want to update your OBS studio, which is what we use for our live stream, but we can't do it because it's running. Do you want to reboot? Sure, why not? It would estimated time remaining 38 minutes, so
yeah, we were scrambling.
Quickly scrambled to get the second laptop set up to stream, but then this one finished and we switched back. So here we are.
Yes, I just want to make sure we say hi to everybody. So I did see Todd was teasing Jess before the live show even started. So
yeah, you can take that mouse.
Okay. Hey, Living Garden. Hey, Garden City Homestead from South Carolina. Natasha, welcome. Diana, hello, hello. Jesus, hello. Changing Wind Farms. Incense Shop. Ron Rogers, welcome. Josh Ford, hey guys. Two Wild Onions and Croft Homestead. And Deborah, oh gosh, I'm still scrolling. Gail, Creating Essence. Gons, Freaky Geek, hello. Welcome to that 1870s homestead.
Two Wild Onions. Didn't I just see you at like Out of Goshen's and
we were on Fundamental Home right before this started.
Fundamental Home and somebody else's live stream tonight. Tonight is live stream night.
Oh, maybe Two Family? Two Family we were watching earlier.
Oh, we hopped on like 4 different live streams between 8 and 8:30.
Hey, Paige, welcome. Fancy Seeds Network. That's a fun name. Welcome. I think that's, or the Pharmacy Seeds Network. Welcome to our channel. Oh, there's such a sneak peek. All right, get ready. I'm going to do it here first. That way the people that aren't with us at the beginning, they miss it.
Hi, Valerie. Welcome. Good to see you.
Okay, you ready? Because it's going to be fast. I'm literally going to show you a glimpse of the wallpaper just so you know what went in there. This is only for you guys. Ready? You didn't see much, so you have to stay tuned.
Oh, you're hilarious.
So, what's going to happen is we thought, like, you'll watch, I mean, we've watched lots of channels that do this, but people will kind of start a project and they might show, like, video 1 will be demolition, video 2 might be, like, say, cabinets, video 3 is something else, flooring, and they really extend it out. And we've never taken that approach. So we didn't approach this footage that way. We just thought we were going to put out a video of the bathroom renovation. We got 4 days into it. I'm like, Todd, no way. There's no way we can do a single video on this.
How many hours of footage was there?
Yes. So for the first video that's going to come out, and it's going to come out either Thursday or Friday, it's basically ready. We just have to do some fine-tune editing. It was 2 hours of footage, and that was only for half of the bathroom that I had to sort through and condense to like less than 20 minutes. And I think we've got it like 17 minutes or so. So it's coming. I will tell you, though, the bathroom is fully functional right now. The only thing that's left is just some final decorating touches. And that's it.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited. I get my bathroom back.
Yes. His
like
shampoo
bathroom.
And everything is back in there. I'm like, man, how does it feel to have the nicest bathroom in the house now? Hey, Sherry and Daryl, thanks so much for helping mod tonight. Really appreciate it. Hey, Big Bear.
Yeah, Two Family has a wrench tonight. We realized last week when we did our live stream that we had trouble keeping up with the comments.
So much so that I went back and rewatched it the next day, and I felt terrible. There was even friends. So Sherry, just to let you know, hey, Preston. Oh, my son's here.
Hey, how cool.
He's in Hawaii, so I never get to see him. Oh, mwah, mwah, I love you. But so much so that there was even comments in all caps or questions, and we just completely missed it because we were talking and chatting. So 2 things. Definitely make sure if you have questions for us that you put them in all caps. That does help. Sherry, if we miss anything, just repeat the question for us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we realized if we're...
Abigail's about to walk in the door. She was like, shh, I'm about to. Hey, Abigail.
She takes my clothes like an annoying sister. She has her whole own closet. And she never puts them away.
This is Abigail's sweater.
Funny.
I looked like I had been at a funeral, so I had to change before the show.
You have your own clothes,
but not this pretty
That's
sweater.
My point. And she never
Welcome
cleans
to
them
our
up.
world.
She puts them in the dirty clothes and I don't get them back.
You
for
never
her.
had the experience of having a sister, so now you do.
No, I don't want it.
Oh.
Sorry. Well, what we were saying was if we're not able to keep up with all the questions, there could be other stuff going on in the chat that we're missing, and we really don't want anything inappropriate. So we asked Cheryl and Sherry. Sherry?
That was great.
Sherry and Daryl to moderate for us tonight.
Yes.
So thank you to you guys.
Okay, so we missed some new people. Hi, North to Hope. I'm so glad you joined us. I'm going to scroll back up and see. Okay, you want us to yell at you? Oh. Okay. Who else is here? Dixie Living Homestead, welcome. I'm so glad you joined. 13 Moons Homestead, welcome. Homestead in the Highlands joined us. Built on the Rock. Rosanna, hey girl. Pinebrook Homestead, hi. I think I got everybody. Boldly Grown. 13 Moons, I said that. Broussard Homestead, hi, welcome. Did we miss any? You have great clothes, Abigail. She does have. Well, I always tell her, I buy your clothes. I should get some say in what I get to wear.
Oh, there, Doug and Stacy just popped in.
Oh, hey, Doug and Stacy, welcome.
And there's more stuff going on here. Well, it's going fast tonight.
Okay, Square One Farms, hey guys. Okay, so tonight there is nothing else to show. For you guys that just joined late, you missed the sneak peek of the bathroom. It was only shown once to those in the first 5 minutes or so. So you'll have to go back and watch. But we have no agenda tonight for the first time ever. And I kind of feel bad because people say they really love our live shows because they're very organized and to the point. But we really felt bad about last week that we didn't get to answer a lot of questions. So tonight is really just intended for you guys. Any Q&A, anything that you have for us, if something pops in our mind, we'll make sure to share it. Like you have that new thing you might want to show people.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we'll see
So he
how
got
this...
a new toy today he might want to show you.
Well, where will the wallpaper be going?
It was going in the bathroom renovation that we've got going on. First video is coming out Thursday or Friday, which is half of the renovation project. Spicy White Bear, it's Daryl's fault that we're learning stuff up. Well, I'm glad you guys are here very much.
What kind of camera are we using for our live stream? This is I don't know what generation of MacBook Air this is, but it's just using the default built-in webcam that comes with the laptop itself. And we have a
Little
external
cheap
mic that we
mic,
use to try to improve our audio quality a little bit.
Hey, Wild and Wonderful. Glad you're here, too. Tell Abigail that's what happens when you're the baby of the family. Everyone takes your clothes. Yes. Unless you're the baby boy, then you inherit everyone else's clothes. So, super funny. Like, no, I shouldn't say. I was going to say something embarrassing about my youngest son, but I won't say it because he got all the hand-me-downs. Hey, Leah. Hey, Cecil.
13 moons.
So we were just watching Fundamental Homes live stream, and she was talking about her garden planning. And I've been promising now for a full year, if you consider like last year, that I would put out our garden plan and how I plan out our gardens. And I've yet to do it. So I really want to try to do that. Because we get a ton of food out of a very, very small space.
And I think part of the reason, and I looked into this a little bit, in that we want to be able to screen capture your Excel spreadsheets that you've laid out to organize your garden planning. And I haven't found a very good product yet for free that allows us to screen capture and record that and then throw that into Premiere and edit it down.
Yeah.
So if any of you know of anything good that does screen recording for free, I know you can use Captiva from Adobe, but it's like expensive. And
so any other plans for the house after the bath and kitchen? Yes, one, and it's going to happen in March, is the stairway that's right behind this chimney has kind of that funky same wallpaper that was, and it's dated from, that was in the bathroom, and that's going to be redone. So
what did the guy that came the other day and did the wallpaper? There's some existing wallpaper in our staircase that goes upstairs. He was fascinated by how old that wallpaper was. What did he say it was like?
Well, he said how good a condition, like, and how it's held up. He
30
said that
years
20,
old or something?
He said it was probably 20 years old.
Yeah.
And he said, I'm so surprised how this is held up. Okay. Thank you so much for subscribing and helping us out. Did you get Sizer under control, and how was the blueberry meat? Yes. So get that for show and tell. Yeah.
Show and tell?
For show and tell, yeah.
All right.
And the mead, it was really hard. It's very hard to explain. So I'm a huge... Go ahead. Sorry.
So you should be able... I got it cleaned up today. The foam finally settled down and stopped going through the airlock. And hopefully you can see how much action we're getting out of this thing with bubbles.
Yeah. Oh, can you hold it up where they can actually see this?
Yeah. Maybe.
Zoom in. Yeah, can you see those bubbles at the top where that foam layer is? It's rocking. But the blueberry mead. So, it was mostly strawberry with some blueberries thrown in. We had juiced a lot of like old kind of mushy strawberries at the end of the season last year and froze that juice, and that's what we used. And like I said, I'm a huge mead fan. Love it. Just straight honey mead. And this was probably, other than a pumpkin mead, one of the only other flavors of mead I tried. But my point is you could smell the honey, but you couldn't really get that honey taste. And it was almost like a champagne feel. So when you drank it, it felt very punchy and bubbly in your mouth. So we're going to let it sit a little bit longer, and he's even thinking of doing a back sweetener by adding more honey just to see if we can mellow it down. So
yeah, I think it just needs to chill for a while longer. And I did leave the fruit in the initial ferment for a really long time, probably longer than I should have. So
whoa, what was that? I think you unplugged it.
Yeah.
Okay, I think they're just having a bunch of conversations with each other.
Here, we don't need to plug
Okay.
this in right now. We should have enough battery to last us for 45 minutes.
Hey, Double Scratch Perch.
Was them
Welcome.
people here last week? There was some kind of perch here last
Really?
week. Yeah.
What are your goats' names? So the black and white one is Philia, and the brown one is Bathsheba.
Was the mead sweet? Ours was not. Ours was not. Maybe medium sweetness.
Yep, definitely not oversweet by any means.
It
but
wasn't dry, but it wasn't like a Moscato or anything like that.
Yeah. I have not read Wild Fermentation. I've seen the book and it looks fun, but I haven't read it.
Two wild onions, biggest garden struggle, plant markers. Do you have suggestions?
What do you think? Half the time, so when stuff starts coming up, half the time I tell him, oh, my garden's growing. The only problem is I forgot what I planted right there. And it's usually the worst with like my greens. So I always have a plan. But sometimes when I get out there, I end up like not having enough seeds to execute on my plan or something like that. So like when it comes up and it's like collards, kale, other little things, and when they're first young and they're coming up, until they get mature, I'm like, I have no idea what this is right now. So I'm my intent this year is to figure out a method to mark my garden. And I think what I'm going to go with that I liked that I saw on Pinterest is, you know, those paint stirring sticks that you can buy at like, or, you know, just get for free at Lowe's or Home Depot. I saw those where they painted them and then they wrote like, so you paint them red, green, blues, real fun colors, and then wrote on them with like the white markers what it was that you planted. So I think that's what I'm going to try. We have made our laundry soap. We've never made our own dish soap. We have abandoned making our homemade laundry soap. So in order to help us still be as zero waste as possible, what we do is we buy the big box Arm & Hammer, which is a low toxicity, natural-ish laundry detergent, and then it's in cardboard that we can compost.
FF Wife 1210 said that she's finally brave enough to start pressure canning thanks to your pantry videos, Rachel.
Thanks to them, or she liked
No, thanks to your canning videos.
Wow. I'm glad.
Rose from Wholesome Roots, welcome.
Welcome, Rose.
We keep missing your Friday night live streams.
Well, we've just been so busy with the projects.
I know.
Lately.
I keep meaning to join you guys.
So
and
we
hang out.
keep missing part-time permies too on Sunday nights because we're always wrapping up our weekend in reviews. So that's been something really fun that we've been doing on our channel. I think now for, gosh, like 3 or 4 months. It's been like since October, right? That we've been doing our weekend in reviews. Because we did the cabin trip in the fall.
Yeah.
And that's been really, it's been creative for us too. I think a fun creative outlet. And another thing is you guys keep us accountable to do stuff around the house. And I mean, we would do a lot of the stuff anyway, but it really makes us get more active and do more fun things. Oh, that's a good idea to do the rocks. I've seen that too.
There was something else. So Pinebrook Homestead, thanks for the suggestion on Fraps. I'm familiar with that application. I'll look up Fraps again. If you forgot, like,
You catching up? So our kitchen project is wrapping up Thursday. So with respect to construction-ish stuff, this coming Thursday. So Friday, I'll be working on putting that back together. and hope to film the ending of that video. I will tell you that video can easily be done in just a one-time video.
Which one?
The kitchen one.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll be finishing that project.
Built on a rock homestead says I have plenty of rocks if anybody needs any.
Okay. So a funny story about rocks is our old house in suburbia. We had, oh my gosh, there was so much landscape rock. You wouldn't even believe it. It had a big in-ground pool. And when we, not in-ground, above-ground pool. And when I decided I wanted to start gardening, we had to rip that pool out so we could have space to garden because it took up over half of the backyard. And our kids hauled buckets, 5-gallon buckets of rocks for days, I think. And then we brought in all new like landscape boulders to do around the backyard. And so it was going to the rock yard and getting like tons and tons of rocks at a time. And I'm pretty sure all of them said, if I never see another rock in my life, it'll be too soon.
Yeah, and somebody mentioned that they need more jars for their canning. We do too. We're out of jars.
Well, you just bought me the 1/2-gallon ones.
Right, but one of the things that we talked about the last time I think we went to Walmart together, I think we kind of decided that how about we just buy one case of jars? Just
every time we
pick
go.
a random size, and every time we go to Walmart, just throw a case. They're like $10. Throw a case of jars in our cart every time we go, and then we'll build up a nice supply. That way it's not like we're running out buying like 8 cases of jars all at once. It's a little easier.
Had so many jars donated to me from family and friends when we first started doing this. And I never in a million dreams imagined I would use them all. And by the end of harvest season in 2018, I was buying them every single week. I could not keep up. And I guess that was one of in my pantry tour video, I talked about the how do you know when you made it homesteading. My ultimate goal was to be able to put up enough food for our family. And that was I'm going to know if I made it if I don't have to grocery shop for vegetables, other than, salads and fruits and stuff like that. Don't have to grocery shop for vegetables or meat because I've raised it here on the farm. And we've basically done that. Now we are still buying one thing I'm not growing, and I never thought I would want to grow it until I started canning it, was kidney beans and what else did I grow? Oh, the northern white beans and garbanzo beans. So I am buying those dry and canning them, and at some point I've got to stop canning so I can have jars available for next harvest season.
Wow, the Pharmacy Seeds Network said they went through an entire pallet of jars in 2009. 72 cases of jars.
Wow, my goodness.
And Little Acre Hen House, have you tried the fish yet? We did try last week on our live show.
Yeah.
She made up a
tuna fish, codfish salad, right?
Yeah, with the cod and mayonnaise and eggs and pickles.
So I think if you go to last week's live stream and go to maybe 20 minutes in or 30 minutes in, we did that demo of actually made it live during the live show, and we loved it. I actually liked it better than tuna fish salad. It was really, really good.
Yeah, somebody wants to get 1/2-gallon jars and gallon jars. That's what I bought last week when I went to Walmart. I bought a case of 1/2-gallon jars.
Yeah.
So this week if I go back this week, it'll be a case of something else.
Yeah. Not quite sure what we're going to use.
Surprise you.
Okay. I need some more small ones.
Well, I was thinking those big ones, we could use that rice that we bought. We bought that gigantic bag of rice, and I'd hate for bugs or something to get in it. Yep. So if we put it in jars, it'll protect it.
Mm-hmm. So it was another funny thing when we were just watching Amanda. Rick won't let her pressure can. I think he's nervous about them exploding or something. So it's something that we have. I do get nervous every time I run it. I will never stand right at it for any length of period unless I'm having to adjust the temperature on it. just to be safe. But we have talked about getting an outdoor setup because during the summer, when you're running that canner all year long, even if you have air conditioning, it gets really hot in the kitchen. So we're talking about getting like what Guildbrook Farm has, and they have that Camp Chef
Yep.
setup.
There was a question if we've tried Azure Standard to get our bulk foods. You actually signed up to be a drop location coordinator.
I did, but I think I'm going to actually abandon that at this time, just because with workload of working off farm and farm requirements, I just I don't want to overcommit myself. So we do have a drop that's in a town called Ypsilanti in Michigan. That would be the closest to us. It's about a 40-minute drive, but I haven't tried it yet. I don't know why. Probably because I haven't budgeted for it. Once I budget for it, I'll try it for the first time. So why don't you show them your thingy? We're halfway in. Might spark a good conversation.
Oh, we'll just grab the box and bring it over here. We'll just show them the box. Well, it's empty. So I did snag a deal. I think we talked last week about meat grinders and sausage stuffers, which are two of my items on my list of things to learn this year. I want to be able to make my own sausage, and I want to cure some form of meat other than curing bacon. And I've had on my Amazon wish list a sausage stuffer and a meat grinder for probably the last 3 or 4 months, and I snagged that meat grinder. Was an Amazon warehouse deal, so it was like an open package that somebody returned. It was like a $400 grinder, and I got it for like almost half off.
Yeah. Now tell them though some of the challenges with buying it. So how much did you get reduction in price for buying a refurbished one?
Well, it wasn't refurbished. It was just like open, and somebody returned it.
Open and returned. So how much did you get off?
Like
$100 off?
$150
Yeah.
off, maybe.
Okay. So we do look for deals if we're having so fun fact about me, I have not bought a new or used car in a really long time. I always go buy a salvaged vehicle on a salvage title when I need a new car. You can get newer year models at a cheaper cost than even used cars, and I found great success with them. So if you guys haven't ever looked into that and you're interested in saving on a vehicle, look for a salvage dealer. Make sure that they're reputable and they do really good work, and you can get great vehicle prices. So anyway, on that, he found a really expensive appliance he's been looking for $150 cheaper, but it had some things missing.
It did. It was missing one piece at the end of the grinder. There's your plate that has the little holes in it that the meat goes through, and there's a cutting wheel that pushes up against that plate to actually cut the meat as it goes through, and that little cutter's missing. So somebody removed it from the box, or it didn't get packaged back up, but you can get them on Amazon, replacement blades for like $8.
Yeah.
So I think I'm still ahead of the game.
Right.
And it does work. We plugged it in. We made sure it actually works and smoked it and pour out of it or anything like that.
Right. But for the cost savings, he can easily go and buy the piece that was missing.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And the 5-year manufacturer's warranty for that item still holds true. So
Yep.
if anything happens to it, I can call up LEM and say, hey, this piece broke. And
Yeah, right.
they should honor it just
Absolutely.
fine. We stopped reading for a little bit. Here's Swedish potato sausage is fun to make with a sausage maker. It sure is good too. I have never had Swedish potato sausage.
I've never even heard of it, but it sounds good.
Yeah, me either. What else did we... Somebody was talking about getting the meat grinder attachment for their KitchenAid. We considered it, but Sorry, I keep squeaking. I can't sit still.
No, you can't.
I'm always really fidgety, so
Try taking them to church.
I apologize. We looked at the KitchenAid meat grinders, but our KitchenAid mixer used to be her mom, so it's what, 20, 25, 30 years old.
Yeah, I'd say it's 30 years old.
And we just don't want to put that kind of abuse to that thing. I'm not sure it can handle it. And I don't want to be the one to break it.
So I've heard Azure Standard has amazing customer service. If you ever have an issue with drop sites or your drop coordinator, you don't even have to go through them. Just contact Azure Standard customer service and they'll work it out with you. I'm interested personally, and this is completely his project, but I would be interested in making our own sausage seasoning. That way we can make it like we want and not buy pre-made. How about you?
Yeah, I'm probably okay with that. I wouldn't mind.
Only because pre-made, it's very hard to find pre-made organic mixes. And I don't want to take my good organic meat and then throw a bunch of crap in it.
Yeah, true. I understand. And I'm when it comes to cooking, I'm very much a seasoning junkie. If it calls for like this much pepper, I'm probably going to double it. If it calls for this much garlic, I'm going to quadruple it. I'm a seasoning junkie, so being able to experiment with my own recipes sounds fun.
Yeah.
Found a bandsaw with a grinder built into it at an auction. Wow. I used in one of the restaurants where I worked, we had one of those huge Hobart grinders that was, well, on the bottom, it basically looked like a kitchen, like your KitchenAid mixer, but it was this tall. It was like 4 feet tall, and the grinder head on that thing was probably this big. Huge. And we also had a meat bandsaw. We used to, all of our pork chops, T-bone steaks, porterhouse steaks, we would order the whole loin, and we cut them all on a bandsaw.
Wow, interesting.
And then trimmed them all up. And
what's the game? Am I totally missing something? I must be.
I don't know.
It's so hard for me to like catch up on the channel.
Yeah.
On the chat.
We start talking for like a minute, and like 10 minutes goes by in the chat, it feels like. We have pre-made non-GMO. Oh, pre-made non-GMO sausage seasoning.
Oh, okay. Nice.
So maybe there are some out there.
Yeah, I'll have to take a look. I haven't really shopped for them too much. So I'll tell you, I buy a lot of my bulk seasonings on Amazon right now. What is the name of that company? Let me go check real quick.
Yeah, that Hobart stuff is nice. That stuff will last forever. But it's really expensive, and if you can find some used stuff, snag it. If you can get it for a good price, snag it, because it will outlast you probably.
So, like, this is hibiscus, but I buy a lot of seasonings from them too. Sorry, the light's kind of shining out. Frontier Co-op. You can buy big bulk bags of stuff. And so we've bought a lot, like our ginger, basil, not cinnamon, maybe nutmeg or something like that.
Barefoot Mama wants to know if you've ever made your own kombucha.
Oh, yeah, sure. Mm-hmm. Want another show and tell?
We actually have quite a few videos on it.
Oh, 3.
3?
Yeah.
Okay. More show and tell. Tried it for the first time today and you love it. Good job. It's pretty easy to make. Cleanliness is your friend.
Kombucha.
Let me open it up.
So I just did a video on how I maintain my continuous brew kombucha. So the SCOBY was like super, super thick. And I cleaned that up. Cleaned out the vessel and redid it. because it had been going since July of last summer without a clean out.
Yes, please, show and tell. Maybe build me a smokehouse. I definitely would like to. I have a master built electric smoker, like a 30-inch one, like a little cabinet one, and I love it. We do pork butts in there a lot and chickens, but I really wouldn't mind building like a dedicated smokehouse out back.
Go ahead, sorry.
About the size of like, a little smaller than like a porta-john. Mm-hmm. That we could use for cold smoking, because it's kind of hard to smoke in the master built electric unless you get the special cold smoker attachment for it or do some modifications to it. So cold smoking, yes, definitely, I would love to.
Well, tell them about your cold smoking experience with cheese.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was when we lived in the city back at our old house.
He tried to cold smoke cheese.
I went and I bought, I don't know how many blocks, like 8 pounds of cheese, like all these little 1 pound blocks of cheese. And it was a cold day. It was in the middle of winter. It was like 0 degrees Fahrenheit out. Got the smoker all ready, and I put all my blocks of cheese in there. And I got one of these pellet trays where it's just like a little metal tray that you fill up with wood pellets and you light it. I think it's called the Amazing Pellet Tray or something like that. And just these little wood pellets will smoke all the way across. And what it allows you to do is to cold smoke in your smoker without actually turning on the heating element. Because if you get above 90 some degrees, all your cheese is going to melt. So I stuck it out there. Perfect 0 degrees outside. It's not going to get hot. The smoke's rolling away and rolling away. What had happened is some of the oil from the cheese dripped onto my wood pellets. And when it got over there, boom, it flamed up, created these huge flames.
Well, you're assuming that's what it did.
I'm assuming, yeah, that's what happened. I didn't know, obviously.
Cheese
I came back
everywhere,
later.
just dripping down.
8 pounds of cheese,
Just
streams hanging down in a big puddle in the bottom of my smoker.
Oh, what a waste.
All these yellow and white and pepper jack all mixed together in this gigantic block of cheese.
Yeah.
I threw it all away because it was nasty.
I've heard the same thing, Gail, from store-bought kombucha to homemade kombucha, and I've had both. I enjoy store-bought kombucha, and of course I make my own. I don't know. I don't know how to explain the difference, other than I'd imagine it's healthy for you.
So Barefoot Mama asked what flavoring you make.
Well, right now I'm not flavoring at all. Well, not at all. I shouldn't say that. I just did I'll show you. Okay. It's too hard.
Geez, I missed a lot again.
Okay, so I think I bought these at Aldi's, but I also buy a similar thing like that Knudsen brand at Walmart. But I'll find like an organic berry juice, and I'll read the ingredients and make sure it's just straight fruit juice, and it is. And I'll mix this. So this one made like 2 half gallons so far, because my son likes kombucha. He's the only one in the house besides me, and he likes a more flavored one. But I just drink it straight now, straight out of the tap. I don't flavor it. I tried it one time and I found I liked it just as well, and it's probably a little less sugar or something, is what I'm telling myself.
I don't like it.
But I make him drink it from time to time. I say, have a shot of it. It's good for your belly.
Nasty. So the question, if we're going to any homesteading conferences this year, we will be at the Michigan Homestead Hootenanny put on by the Pratt Family Homestead in July.
Last weekend of July.
And Homesteaders of America, we going to go there?
Oh, Homesteaders of America. Yep, I already booked our hotel reservations.
We're going to be there. And
Yeah.
that is when? Fall?
October.
October.
Second weekend of October, I think.
That's really the only two that we got planned.
So what else have I made though? Flavors of kombucha. My personal favorite was pineapple. So I just bought straight pineapple juice and poured that in there. It was wonderful. Probably one of the strongest bubbly fermentations I'd made. What was the worst kombucha I ever tried to make? I tried to make a beet juice kombucha. Gross.
I tasted that one. That one was disgusting.
It was so gross. The chickens got it all. I didn't even...
Their favorite is apple pie kombucha.
I have...
Cinnamon sticks.
Yep, I made that at Christmas time. I did a cinnamon stick in each jug. I make like half-gallon jugs at a time when I do my second ferment. So I did a cinnamon stick and a few pieces of ginger.
Buy 2 wild
And some
onions.
apple juice, of course. But my kombucha's ready. Let me just go check it. And if it is ready as I think, I'll bring it back and show you guys.
Your what?
I'm going to pour it off and like show them that it's ready.
Oh, okay. 2 wild onions. Have a good night. Pineapple is killer. And ginger. You did some ginger before, didn't you?
Yeah, ginger. That's dirty. I'm just struggling to find a clean glass that's see-through. Hold on just a second.
Have you tried smoked seasonings? I have not smoked any seasonings yet. I know people are...
Pratt family does the smoked salt.
Yeah, Pratt family does smoke salt a lot, but I have not. Chicken, pork butts, those are the main things that we like to smoke. I've tried ribs a few times, but I can't get ribs to turn out. I never end up liking them. They turn out too rubbery for some reason. I don't think I cook them long enough. I'm one of those people that are completely okay with ribs that like fall apart, like when you can pull the bone out of them. And I've never smoked them long enough, from what I can tell, that I can get them to that point.
Okay, you have to hold this up high while I pour it.
I
out.
do? Oh, jeez.
Hold on. So we'll just... I'm coming around. Hold on just a second.
This is like Mr. Wizard.
Okay, can they see? But they're not
think
going to be
so.
able to see the jar. You got to hold it. Can you stand up?
They can. Oh, do you want them
You
to
gotta
see the bottom jar?
I want them to see the bottle.
Okay. I think we can do this.
So this is just what I do when I drink my
I'll
kombucha.
get my beard out of the way. Okay.
See? Woo! Look at all those bubbles. And then I just cap it. I don't even second ferment, and I throw it in the fridge, and I drink it. And you know what I've learned? So I'm not a kombucha expert. I may pretend that I am. I don't really pretend that I am. I'm very honest that I'm not. But people might get the impression that I am. What I just learned is I called that thing, that big tank, my continuous brew kombucha. And when I was researching it the other day, it's really not. It is, continuous brew is considered like you take a little bit off and then you just add a little bit of sweet tea back as you're using it. And I don't do that process. I think what I do is something called batch brewing. And so every Friday I pour off all that kombucha except enough starter fluid. And then I add back a huge quantity of black tea and I let it brew till the next Friday. And then I pour off. So that's my maintenance schedule. But now I got kombucha. So I didn't do it last Friday because we were busy. And so I'm a couple days late.
It looks like some of you, the two-family homestead, will be camping at the HOA this year. Somebody asked if we were going to the Hootenanny, and we already said yes, we are.
Mm-hmm. We haven't done a Baker Creek festival, and we haven't done a Mother Earth News festival. I would love I'm probably more interested in the Mother Earth News Festival at this point in time. So I would really love to go to one of those.
Was I at the Myers in Southgate on Sunday? No, I was not. We do not get downriver too often anymore. We're down in Monroe.
And we have never been to a Myers in probably 15 years.
Right. But if you see me out and about, stop me, say
definitely
hi.
say hi. Hey, Amy, welcome.
If you see somebody that looks like me,
Stop them and say hi. Hey, Wild and Wonderful. Michigan Mike, I didn't even see you here. Welcome.
Hey, buddy. Wow, were you here the whole time and we totally missed you?
Sorry if we did.
The chat went kind of fast for us tonight.
What else is new? So we said last week, we said in our weekend in review that Nick's moving out. And a lot of you are familiar with our son Nick. He's helped mod just a couple times. He graduated from Michigan Tech last May. And he got the opportunity for any kid that graduates from college, come home, live with us for a year, pay off student loans while you get your feet on the ground. But once that 1 year's up, you need to be on your own and making it happen for yourself. And he signed his lease on his apartment, so he's making that move.
I think he's excited.
Yeah, he's definitely excited.
Said, okay, whoever it was, they look like me. A little fun fact, last week
Hey, Jim's in town gardening. Welcome.
on our live show, I did a surprise giveaway last week
Yes, you did.
for a trivia question, and Erica won.
Is
and
Erica here tonight?
No, I don't
Okay.
think so. But she did send us a message, and she bought a huge list of flowers for her flower garden
Yep,
from
flowers
Am I
and
Gardener.
herbs. Yep.
So that was fun for her. We'll do another contest again sometime.
Yeah.
I don't like to announce them ahead of time because I don't
Right.
want people to come
Just
and
show up
hang
for
out
that.
just for contests. So
Yeah.
come back next week. Maybe we'll have one next week. Maybe it'll be the week after. I don't know. Whenever I feel like it.
He completely surprised me. I didn't even know he was doing that.
I got to come up with a good question though.
Yeah.
Apparently a harder question.
Yeah.
I thought last week no one was going to get it.
Yeah. Jim said that was a good question. So what else, honey?
What else?
So we got the crazy goat videos coming out tomorrow.
It is done. It's uploaded. Everything is finished. It's ready to go. All we got to do is click the make public button.
Yeah. Hey, Micro Farm Starter. Mike said he was here, but he was just on the phone with his daughter.
Oh, okay. Have you tried smoking seasonings like salt? I have not.
No, but I'd be interested in, I guess the closest thing to that was when we made our black garlic and we fermented black garlic. It was probably the closest thing to a seasoning that we've done. And then we dehydrated a bunch of peppers, but we didn't season them or anything.
Well, some people smoke garlic.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. You know what I'd like to try are those smoked hard-boiled eggs I see people doing. I think that sounds amazing. So next time I have to make deviled eggs, I want to smoke them first and try smoked deviled eggs.
Doesn't sound good to me.
Oh, I think it would be good. Is the tea a bit sweet? Never had it before. It's not overly sweet. It's decent. I think what I'm trying to use it for is to cut the Diet Coke habit. So we're big Diet Coke drinkers, and it's definitely helped. I make sure not to have too much of it. So I'll give myself the opportunity to have a couple glasses a day. Probably 1 glass a day is plenty. They do say if you're new to kombucha, just to start with like a 1/4 cup. See, let your digestion system get adjusted to it. I did see Mike Pratt smoke the sea salt, and I think he's even sold it and given it away a few times as part of his giveaways. We did pickle quite a few eggs over the summer. I've never tried them. I don't think I did. But Nick, up in the UP of Michigan, it's a huge thing, pickled eggs. So he made a whole bunch over the summer with jalapenos and all kinds of fun stuff.
Never win a trivia contest because your stream is too slow. My trivia question last week was an email. When you know the answer, you email us.
Yeah. But if the stream's too slow and he can't see it in time.
But it was a pretty hard question.
Yeah.
I figured it would take some time for people to figure it out, but we'll try to. Maybe there's other ways we can keep things fair for people.
Mm-hmm. Well, we just did the giveaway on Instagram. That was completely fair. There was no timing on that.
Yep, completely random.
Yeah.
So yeah, we don't just do giveaways here on YouTube. We'll do them over on Facebook. We did one.
Mm-hmm.
We did one over on Instagram. So if you're not following us in those places, check us out over there. And
yeah, I think I told you guys last week, he manages the Facebook page. I'm not on there too much. And I got on there today. I'm like, oh my gosh, he's posted like 3 things I haven't even seen.
You should follow me.
You do a good job. He does a good job over there.
But I am so ready for spring to get back outside.
Yes. Last week's giveaway was a $20 MI Gardner gift card.
Do we do much dehydrating? We have an Excalibur dehydrator, a large one, like a 12 tray. But we do not use it a lot yet. We used it maybe 3 times last year. We did some onions, we did peppers, and we did potatoes.
No, we didn't do potatoes in it last year.
What was that
Onions.
jar of dehydrated potatoes?
That was from when we lived in the Rockwood house.
Oh.
Yeah. I think we just did onions and peppers last year. I would like to do some strawberries this year. And I'd imagine when my orchard really starts producing, I would love to do like apples and peaches and blueberries even to throw in cereals, things like that. But our orchard just is not at that level yet that we have abundance to dehydrate.
When we were watching Joe and Zach Survival the other day, and he does a lot of dehydration of vegetables, throws them in mason jars, and he takes them to his cabin, which seemed like a good idea for us for our cabin.
Right, because we're always taking canned goods up there and bringing them home in the winter.
Right.
And he had kind of like, those were they all veg?
Veg-all, yeah.
Veg-alls. He had dehydrated a bunch of his homegrown veggies and made like a veg-all mix. And green beans he had, mushrooms. And so he went up for his winter trip and was just rehydrating them, reconstituting them, and it worked really well.
Yeah, so this spring when we go up to our cabin, we'll bring some canned goods with us, but we never leave them in the cabin over winter because there's no heat. Mm-hmm. And generally canned goods can be safe when frozen, but if you get a can that doesn't and it pops,
it's going to be a mess.
And you don't show up at the cabin for another month because it's still too cold out, you're going to have some rotten smelling food by the time you get back.
Yes. So everybody's talking about spring coming. So this Saturday, it's supposed to be 40 degrees.
Again?
Yeah.
Nice.
So guess what we're going to do?
I'm going to do whatever I feel like it.
We're going to go outside and work.
I haven't been working all week.
Yeah, but it's fun outside.
I don't know. We'll see.
I'm going to, anyway, on my winter project list, there's something called, what did I write it? Finish clearing the small woods. And the small woods is a little tiny section of woods between kind of where you look out the back window and in front of the goat house. And there's a ton of like saplings growing all through there that need to be trimmed out. There's a massive, ugly, hideous juniper bush that I need to trim up and trim back. Earlier in the winter, I had cleaned out my raspberry canes. And if Press is still on here, Preston, I'm doing this for you and Emily because they're having their wedding reception here, and I got to get that little spot cleaned up. Todd's got a big, huge tree that fell over the winter. That is a huge mess in the backyard, so we got to clean that up. Maybe at least get the fire burning. So we have a huge bonfire pit in the backyard. It's massive. And we built this huge pile at the end of the fall season last year. And it just started raining and snowing and raining, and we could never get it dry enough to burn. So at some point in time, we got to get that burnt down so we can add to it.
I agree. Tell me about dehydrated marshmallows. What does it turn into?
Aren't they kind of
Oh,
dehydrated
that's kind of
already?
like what you get in like the Lucky Charms. Does it turn into like those little tiny little
I wonder.
things?
Shut the front door. Is it really 40 degrees is a heat wave right now? I know. I'm totally planning on no jacket. It's going to be like spring outside. And part of the garden plans, I think for any of you that have been following us, you know that I'm planning on gardening the pig paddock that we had last year. They did an amazing job tilling that up. And I need to get some winter seeds sown in there. But it's flooded right now. So I'm going to see if, don't hold me to it. But part of my plan is I can get out there and level out just the space that I need to sow like my broccoli and my cauliflower and see if I can't get that sorted out. We'll see.
Are we going to video the tree cutting? Which tree? The big giant one?
The big, huge, the one that fell. I'm sure we will in a weekend in review or something. I doubt we'll make a whole separate video on it. It's just cutting a tree.
Yeah, and it's already on the ground.
Yeah. Right.
It was dead. I knew it was there in the woods. And it was big. I mean, it's probably like the base of it is a good 2.5, almost 3 feet across. And it was dead when we moved in. And I was trying to figure out how are we going to take this thing down without taking out something we don't want it to take out. And there was a windstorm one day and it fell boom right where I wanted it.
Perfectly.
Almost flush with the ground too.
So somebody said that it snowed in Las Vegas the other day.
Really?
My gosh.
Yeah, we will show probably more than likely some tree cutting of some way, shape, or form in a weekend in review.
Yeah.
To some degree. So sometimes you get into chainsaw stuff on film and a lot of the safety people come out of the woodwork and...
He doesn't really always follow the safety guidelines on much of anything.
No. I get stuff done.
Yeah. Oh, I know, right? The poor squirrel family.
Oh, yeah, that was the old video.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just ran across that one the other day.
Did you?
Oh, when I did our year in review.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Our year in review video. And I went through every video that we made for an entire year and took clips of everything and put it all together.
Mm-hmm. So I'm excited. I saw Built on the Rock Homestead said that they're excited to grow sweet potatoes. I can't wait to grow more sweet potatoes this year. They did amazing for my first time ever last year.
Yeah, the chainsaw police. For the most part, everybody that comments on our videos is pretty good about things. We don't have a lot of haters. We don't have a lot of Safety Sally police or anything like that.
Except on my soap making video. That was a nightmare.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but I've heard of other people, of like people getting on them about, why aren't you wearing chaps? You should have a helmet on. You should have all this stuff. And
right. Probably just because we're not as big as other channels with that kind of stuff.
Maybe. I don't know.
It's 10 o'clock.
It is? Holy
Already.
cow.
That was fast. Okay. just to be fair, guys that were here at the beginning of the video, don't be too mad. I'm going to give, for the people that hung on with us all the way to 10 o'clock, I'm going to give you the sneak clip of the bathroom wallpaper. It's just a teaser. That's it. So stay tuned. Those videos will be coming out this week. It's,
You're funny. The kitchen gets done Thursday still?
Yep.
We
Crazy
put-
Goat video out tomorrow.
We put all this stuff away.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I can't wait to have my
That's what
dining
we're
room
doing
table.
this weekend, putting our house back together.
Yeah, I hope to be able to get it done Friday while you're at work.
Okay. But as always, thank you for joining.
Yeah,
Some
super
of
fun.
you have been here, like Valerie. You've been here since the beginning. You all stayed with us for a whole hour. So
Yes.
thank you. Thank you to Two Family Homestead,
Yes,
our
thanks so much,
moderators
Sherry
tonight.
and Daryl. Appreciate it.
I saw a bunch of links posted. Thank you. I appreciate it.
And
Hopefully-
don't forget to hit that thumbs up before you leave.
Yeah. Hopefully nobody got too out of line. And Daryl had to throw some people out.
No, I don't think so.
No, I'm just kidding. Thank you,
Good night,
guys.
guys.
We'll see you soon. Oh, wrong
Tuesday.
mouse.
Next Tuesday.
Oh, next Tuesday. We'll see you tomorrow, too, if you watch our goat video.
Yep.